Hello, everybody. It is March the 14th, 2021, right here on the Wrestleview YouTube channel. Hello. Oh, boy. Man, I say oh boy because man, oh man, is there a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about. Oh boy. Trying to think of the best ways to construct how I want to say before I say it, before looking like a dingus. But yeah, it's concerning about the news and all kinds of other things. But until then, hello, I'm Doug Lackey, veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and the co-host of Wrestleview Live, which is hosted alongside the effervescent editor-in-chief of Wrestleview.com, Mike Tedesco, where we cover all of the major WWE pay-per-views immediately following them right here on the Wrestleview YouTube channel, including the left lane, the HOV lane, the carpool lane, the fast lane. Yes, the fast lane. It's weird how we're having this pay-per-view next Sunday. And then after that is only, I believe, a 3-week build going into WrestleMania. I am trying to remember the last time that we've had this short of a span between pay-per-views, from the last one and into WrestleMania. I'm used to there being, the February pay-per-view and then the 7-week build to WrestleMania. But nope, there's a WWE network that will be going to Peacock soon. And so they want to cram as many events and shows into it so that you feel like that you're getting your $9.99 a month's worth. So that's what it is. Yes, and on the show today, we will be predicting what little we know about Fastlane. Right now, there are only 3 matches booked for Fastlane, but we know a 4th one is, we know there's going to be a caveat to one of those 3, but there's a lot of other matches that are going to be on it that we're going to try to decipher what's going to be happening. I decided to adjust my monitors at the wrong time. So yeah, we're going to try to figure that one out. Top 5 things to pay attention to in the land of the WWE TVs. I've been watching a lot of NXT UK, and I am almost about to say that of all of WWE's programming, television and otherwise, NXT UK is leaps and bounds above all of the others just from the audio quality, the production quality, the studio quality, the programs that are involved, and just the personnel. I mean, it's just a really good, decent show. But 2 of those 5 things are going to be involving NXT UK. And one thing, another show, another program that was apart from regular WWE programming, where once again, someone tries to deliver a monologue and attempts to try to salvage what might be left of their career. So we've got that. Headlines, oh boy, are they a doozy. Lots of stuff on the headlines, including the inevitable shift from WWE Network to the Peacock Network. NXT has decided to do 2 nights of TakeOver, but they are not associated with WrestleMania. So whatever WrestleMania whiteboard that we had booked incorporating NXT, we can just annihilate anything involving NXT with WrestleMania. The WWE milk carton is alive and kicking, good and well. Many more have been added to it, including my favorite duo, and one of them trying to salvage her career. She's in there as well. And then finally, predicting the show of the Fastlane, and see, we'll see how we do. We'll just see how this goes. It's been a while since I've predicted a pay-per-view, what with moving into the new home and everything, so we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I got to get some pleasantries out of the way first. If you're in the chat room now, you say, wee! If you're not in the chat room, there's not a damn thing I can do about that. Who all's in the chat room? I know it's gotten a little full after everything that I'd say that I was going to be spouting out on this show earlier last week. Who all is in there? I see Andrew. I saw Gills. Who else is in there? Come on, you want to make yourselves be known right now, because I probably will forget about you after that. Who else is in there? I think, is Grash in there somewhere? somewhere? He might be in there. I see Machoon. I see Mediocre Lewis. Whee! Who else is in there? There's Gills. I see, is Jamel in there? Daniel had a birthday. I'm not going to say all those E's, so I'll just go, whee! Jeez Louise. Yeah, there's Jamel. There he is. Okay. Man, and the Brian Farmer's in there. I never see a Brian Farmer in there. I must have done something real good to deserve his presence in my chat room. Yeah. So that's what's going on. Also, what's going on is St. Patty's Day is coming up this Wednesday. Tyson Tyler's in the chat room. I said Tyson because I confused his last name Upson with the Tyler. Tyler going, wee! St. Patty's Day is next Wednesday. And so I can't wear green here because, stuff behind me. And so the next best thing that we can do is drink like it's St. Patty's Day. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it's been a while since I've actually had one. And yeah, just going to show it off right there. We're just going to go old school on this one. We're going to go with the Guinness Extra Stout. That's what we're going to do. You guys can get Guinness Extra Stout wherever you want, but the descriptor's right there. Intense, characterful, and bold. Guinness Extra Stout is the pure expression of our brewing legacy. Bittersweet, with subtle hints of hops, dark fruits, and caramel, this stout is a testament to great brewing. Do they ever really say what the ABV is on these? I don't think they do on the bottle. No, I don't think. No, there it is. The Guinness there. It's it's a very extra stout 5.6. But that's okay. It's been a while since I've had Guinness. I don't mind Guinness. It's just I've had better. I feel like I'm just a craft beer snob, and so my tastes have altered dramatically. I know. If I were half my age, I would be doing Irish car bombs, which would be a shot of Jameson inside a Guinness. But no, those days have now left me. The only shots I do are for you people when I'm wrong in my predictions. So we drink from the Chalice of Truth today. The Chalice of Truth. We pour that Guinness in there. Yeah, I know, Daniel, 5.6, but 5.6, who the hell are they kidding? We're going to double up on this chalice because the chalice is pretty big, Oh, yeah, the jingling you hear is my church key. It's my Cleveland Browns church key because, as you know, Cleveland Browns fans, we are heavy drinkers. We're required to be. Pour that in there. Sexy hunk of man meat Lewis in the chat room going, wee! Gonna fill that up. Oh, don't go over. Don't go over. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. That's very lovely right there. Nice and full and first. All right, bottoms up. There we go, the Guinness. Been a while. Yeah, it's very light. When you've been drinking beers that are double digits on the ABV, everything else now just tastes watered down. God, I've had Kentucky Breakfast Stout from Founders, their Maple Mackinac Fudge, God, those things are 12 ABV, well above 11. It makes Guinness taste like dark water. Dark water or something like that. I mean, I know that doesn't sound appealing, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, no, I'll enjoy that. That's fine. I was thinking of dipping into my hopcakes from last week, but nah, that's okay. We're going to save that for Fastlane. We're going to need it for Fastlane. We're going to definitely need it. All right. Top 5 things to pay attention to from the WWE's television. And we just don't have enough titles, do we? Here we go. Regal takes off the cloth. Your secret ingredient for today's entrees are the NXT Women's Tag Team titles. You have 1 hour to construct an appetizer, an entree, a side dish, and a dessert with this secret ingredient. You will be judged by William Regal, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez, as well as everyone behind them. A lot of the arguments that I hear about these titles is that we just have too many. There are too many titles in the WWE. All right, Doug, name them. All right, here we go. First off, we've got that span multiple programs, the women's tag team titles. So there's one. Let's go to Raw. We have the WWE title, the Intercontinental United States title, the Raw Tag Team titles, Raw Women's Champion. I think that's it right there with Raw. Let's go to SmackDown. We have the Universal title, the Intercontinental title, the SmackDown Tag Team titles, and the SmackDown Women's title. So now we're up to 9. Let's go back to NXT, where we have the NXT champion, we have the North American champion, we have the women's champion, we have the tag team champions, and the women's tag team champions. So now we're up to 14. Let's go to the cruiserweight title that is on NXT. That's kind of an interim cruiserweight title, but then there's the actual cruiserweight title that's over at UK by Jordan Devlin. So now we're up to 16. Oh, wait a minute. He's in UK. Did you say UK? NXT UK. UK champ, the UK women's champ, and the UK tag team champs. 19 titles within the WWE. 19. I'm going to make a rough estimate that the number of performers on the WWE's roster that span not just Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, but also 205 Live and NXT UK probably get into the 200s. We have over 200 WWE performers. 19 titles to separate from among them. And a lot of them tag team titles. And so it is suffice to say, tag team titles, bear in mind, there's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Women's, NXT Women's, and the UK. 6 tag team titles to be dispersed amongst 12 performers. 13 of those are singles titles, so 25 of the over 200 performers on WWE's main roster are champions. There's a big reason why I don't really pay attention to college football that much. I used to be a big Ohio State fan and follow Ohio State football, but I don't anymore, and it's more because of the bowl system. I hate having these, not just the tournament structure to determine the national champion for college football, but the bowl system in general. Here in America, football played on the collegiate level. There are, I believe, less than 90 football teams in Division I that are eligible for the tournament to determine the national champion. So around about 90 schools are in this. You know how many bowl games there are in college football? The college bowl game being you're a good team, and so you get to play around New Year's Day in a special game that is televised for all the nation to see. You know how many bowl games there are? There have to be at least 22 to 25 bowl games. Which means if those games, that means that there are 50 schools that are eligible to be for special games when that almost accounts for half. Okay, so there we go. I've got them all saying it right here. Brian Farmer telling me 120 teams. 120 teams in Division I. And then, 120 teams. And then the bowl games, I don't think they're in the 40s, Daniel. I think the bowl games are more like in their 20s. It might be approaching 30. But the big reason I don't watch college football that much is because when it's determined that at least half of the teams are going to be in a special bowl game, then why in the hell should I watch the regular season? Why in the hell should I even care? So that's why I don't really pay attention to college football that much. It's getting damn close with the WWE. It's getting damn close. And no, it's not half. I mean, by God, that's like saying there should be like 40 or 50 titles in the WWE for me to make that comparison to college football. But the analogy and the feelings about it are still the same. Why would I want to pay attention to a product where almost everyone is a champion? Why? Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw. Just take that. Okay, Monday Night Raw. WWE champion, United States champion, women's champion, men's tag team champion. So there's 5 performers. Women's tag team champions make 7 performers. I mean, and you know how many performers are normally shown on Monday Night Raw on a weekly basis on a 3-hour show? 25. So you're telling me a third of the roster that you're showing on your show are champions. Why? Why? How is that possible? NXT last Wednesday on their 2-hour program showcased 34 performers. Monday Night Raw only showcased 25. How is this possible? How is it possible that your 3-hour program shows less performers than your 2-hour program? How's that possible? This is not about who should be shown. This is about just writing in general. And then, to top it all off, a third of the people that you're showing are champions. Of who? Of what? So, while I understand introducing the NXT women's tag team titles? I can name 4 tag teams in NXT that would vie for those titles. I can't name 4 tag teams on Raw or SmackDown that would vie for the WWE women's tag team titles. It's kind of sad. So, yeah. I don't get it. Number 2. I believe NXT UK now has been around for roughly 2 years. Can we say that? They've been around for roughly 2 years. And yet, last week on NXT UK, they had their first ever mixed tag team match. Think about that. I mean, just think about that for a second. The program has been around for upwards of 2 years. And they fortunately, had their first mixed tag team match. And they touted it. They made this a really big deal. Name the last mixed tag team match that was on Raw or SmackDown. If you were to name it, it would have been during the Mixed Tag Team Challenge that I think that they had for Facebook Live about 2-3 years ago. Mixed tag matches don't happen that often in the WWE, especially on their mainstream programming nowadays. In fact, I think this is probably the first mixed tag match that the WWE's done in probably the past 6 months. Kind of hard to believe that of all the things that they're going to be pumping the brakes on, apart from slapping your leg for delivering a kick. We'll talk about that. The other thing you're putting the brakes on is mixed tag matches. We've been doing programs with a sommelier, Reginald, where he frequently gets beaten up by females. Randy Orton RKO'd Nia Jax 3 years ago. So I would think that the WWE would be all about, female empowerment, trying to even the playing field, showing that the women are just as capable of doing anything inside the ring or outside of the ring as the men are. But they still do a mixed tag match, and they make it historic on NXT UK. Why is that? And should they eliminate the rule of when the male or female is tagged in that the male or female is automatically brought in from the other side as well? Should they get rid of that? Be weird. Be really, really weird. It's just weird. It's kind of fascinating. It's kind of interesting when you think about it, that the WWE really hasn't been dabbling into mixed tag that much. Unless they're trying to, again, push female talent and that they are just as capable of anything that the men are capable of doing. Well, if that's the case, then you put them in the ring with the men to show that they can. For example, Piper Niven smacking the taste out of Jimmy's mouth. Another thing from NXT UK, they have a new talent debuted last week on NXT UK named Teoman. Trying to remember, I was doing some research on this guy a couple of weeks ago, and I cannot remember his real name. But he comes from Progress, from Turkish descent is where he's from. He reminds me a lot. He is like a, the best way to put this. He reminds me of Ilya Dragunov in that he's hard-hitting and, very, very physical and, that British strong style, European strong style type stuff in the ring. He reminds me of Ilya Dragunov, except he's a lot easier on the eyes. Ilya Dragunov is not a very attractive fellow. Kind of hard to look at. He's kind of like, the worst of them is Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is hard to look at. And I'm not saying that, and I'm a very heterosexual male here, but by God, Pete Dunne is one ugly son of a bitch. And so is Ilya Dragunov. Glad he got rid of the stupid contacts in his eyes for his character development. But here we have Teoman, who, the way his character goes is that he was brought up from poor family, and in order to survive, you have to be as ruthless as possible to command respect and demand fear, or vice versa. This is going to be an interesting character to see how he falls along NXT UK's line, is what it is. It would not shock me if Teoman were to become NXT UK champion very, very quickly. And I'm not saying that just because he's good. I'm just saying that because it would be a great shakeup to NXT UK right now. Walter is going to be appearing for the first time since his match with Ilya Dragunov, I think 8 weeks ago, almost 2 months ago. And he's the UK champion. He hasn't appeared in the past 2 months. So why not? Why not indeed? Still flirting with the idea that Walter may be coming to NXT. No, I don't see that happening. I do not see that happening. He's staying across the pond. So, yeah. But this will be an interesting cat to keep your eye on. Wouldn't be shocked if he's going to be an NXT UK champion in the next few months. It would not shock me. Number 4, not much, how do I put this? From Shayna Baszler's Twitter account. Pictures of her restless, listless during the segment where Reginald was trying on different clothing at a men's apparel store with Nia Jax, and Nia Jax fawning over all of his selections. And Shayna just sitting there, listless, putting on her shades and almost falling asleep, hand on top of her head, going, what the hell am I doing here? Last Monday, on Monday Night Raw, where Reginald debuted alongside Jax and Baszler, Baszler's just going, God, can we go? Can we go to the match, please? Can we go? There are a lot of things. There are a lot of great things that people say about Shayna Baszler. Okay, great in the ring, great character. What she does outside of the ring, doing streaming with Dakota Kai and Jessamine Duke and Mia Yim, the stuff they do on Twitch, the stuff that I think she also does with Up, Up, Down, Down. I'm not sure. But she is great and has fit into the WWE line of thinking and line of character development so well. But the one thing they don't talk about with Shayna is stuff like this. The facial expressions, the nonverbal, everything. She, right now, at the ripe young age, I believe, of like 42. Is that how old she is? Doug, you're not being ageist or anything like that, but how old is she? No, 39. She turns 40, I think, this year. I think she turns 40 this year. But she is a fixture with the WWE. She's not going anywhere anytime soon. She is set for life, okay? And all this talk that was happening in the past about her facing Ronda Rousey and everything, no need. Why do we need that? There's no point to have that at all. She is great on her own. She's doing fantastic. Does she need to be a champion? No, not at all. We've seen how entertaining she can be with the tag team and with Nia Jax when they were chasing for the title, now having the titles. Right now, she is just in a great place right now. Could we see her be champion within the year? Sure. Does it matter? Not really. No, not at all. The bigger thing I'm concerned about is what show would she be on? Because there will be a shakeup of some kind happening after WrestleMania. And Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, I don't see having the women's tag team titles very long. I think they're going to keep them for Fastlane. But I don't see them keeping them after WrestleMania. So where would she go? Where would Jax go? Which one's going to Raw? Which one's going to SmackDown? Is one of them going back to NXT? Who knows? All I know is right now, she is in a great place. And just keep doing what she do. Doing what she do. Let Jax have the boy toy, and she just sit there going, oh, for fuck's sake. Why is this happening? Why am I here? Well, I'm a champion, so what the hell am I going to do? Finally, I really want to talk about this. This is starting to become a very uncomfortable and predictable pattern. On Raw Talk last Tuesday, Peyton Royce got on there, and I can't play it because of the YouTube Gestapo going after me. But she did like what most other performers going on Raw Talk who haven't been on television in almost a month would do. Try to give an impassioned monologue to inspire that you should believe in me and that there's way more to me than what you're not seeing and what you have seen. I could be better than everyone here and outside of the WWE if they just gave me a chance. I am your... Go right back there to The Miz. I'm your Intercontinental Champion. Daniel Bryan. He's a coward. You're the cowards. Big E going up on there. I will be the best, and I am way better than just the New Day. I am great by myself. Kevin Owens has done it. Big E's done it. The Miz started it. This is becoming passé. Okay, it's becoming passé, cliche, and anything else A. She hasn't been on television in 3 weeks. She's kicking off the milk carton this week. No shock. No shock. And what's more is, we see this all the time. We saw this with Apollo Cruz. Look what Apollo Cruz is now. Saw this with Big E. Look where Big E is now. Saw it with Sami Zayn. Look at what Sami Zayn is now. This is becoming passé. It needs to stop. This needs to stop. What stinks most about spiking Nerf ball and COVID-19 and pandemic and quarantining, stay-at-home orders last year, what stunk about all of it was that the WWE couldn't go on tour and have their house shows. And at their house shows is where they would test drive programs, is where they would throw people in there to see if they gel, and then a month or 2 months down the road, they threw them on TV to build up that program to give those performances that they gave at those house shows. That's how their line of program formulation works. It's how it's always worked, and it's always been successful. One of the most successful ones was Braun Strowman Big Show from nearly 4 years ago. Oh my God, was that test driven so hard at house shows with Big Show versus Braun Strowman matches, and then just a random main event on a Monday Night Raw to showcase what they did. Braun Strowman kipping up and Big Show and him actually doing wrestling moves that you would never see big men do. Drop kicks thrown by both. Big Show doing a superplex. You know? That's what the house shows gave us. Those test driving dark matches to bring us into programs. But because we no longer have house shows, there's no way for the WWE to test drive anything. And that's why I think this past 18 months of WWE programming has been incredibly watered down. You haven't seen anything new because they don't have anything to really test it from. They have no hypotheses that have been tested out or theories that have been questioned. And so what are we left with? We're left with dark promos. Instead of being in the ring with a performer to show that you can handle your own and then maybe put you on TV to show off that program, now you have to work on your own. Just you. Sell me on you as a character. And it has absolutely nothing to do with what you do in the ring. That's very sketchy. Just sell me on your character? It's kind of tough. It's really, really tough. Think about it. Sell me on your character so that I can have you showcased on television and then reintroduce you and repackage you. Who are you going to job? Who's going to job for you? Who are you going to move up in the card with? What's your first program going to be? We don't know. It's only because we're relying on dark promos now instead of dark matches. And honestly, that's a problem that a lot of federations had. But I'm really sick and tired of the pleas for paying attention to me. I am tired of these desperate attempts at trying to become acknowledged. Okay? And I'm not going to denounce how she is in the ring. That's not what this is about. This is not about, and honestly, this is not even about her actually being on TV. This is about how the WWE builds up people to be on television and have a lasting impact on their television program. You don't do it by delivering dark promos. You got to do something in the ring. And it doesn't even have to be a wrestling move. Just a facial expression. Just some kind of flick of the hand to buzz someone off. Maybe you sold one move really well. You got to do something to catch their eye. Doesn't mean you have to do it all the time afterwards, but at least you did something that caught their eye. Then you won't end up on Raw Talk or Talking Smack delivering your desperate plea for help in the form of a monologue. I am really sick and tired of these desperate attempts. We're just going to see more of them. we're not going to see more of them, then you just watch out. Spring cleaning is coming up soon. Yeah, I think I predicted her to go Splitsville. I think I did. So that's the stuff that happened on the WWE TVs and things that I think are worth noting, worth mentioning. And Goose bringing it up there with AEW, they have the benefit of an outdoor stadium. Well, yeah, they can hold their dark matches. They can see what can get an audience reaction, even if there are only 50 people there. At least you're getting some kind of feedback of some kind. That's why WrestleMania coming up is a really big deal. They're going back to Raymond James Stadium. They're finally going to use the set that they put together last year. Hastily thrown together promos and stuff. For a crowd that I think is only going to be 30 or 40%. Is that what it's going to be? A crowd that might be about as large as what you would find at a basketball arena, I think is what we're going to find out. Will they make enough noise for us to hear? I hope they don't do piped in noise. I am sick and tired of the piped in crowd noise. I cannot watch WWE television. I have to mute it. I have to watch it muted. I can't stand the piped in noise. And it's not because I feel patronized or anything like that to say what to root for and what to cheer for. It's just, it sounds horrible. It sounds horrible. It really does. So, but again, this is what they rely on now, are dark promos, and man, it's not good. All right, enough of that. Time to get to the news. First off, some sad news to talk about, and then I got some loose change. First, starting off with some sad news breaking. Becky Lynch announced on her Instagram on Thursday that her father had passed away. Her dad passed away that Thursday morning. Said it on her Instagram. My God, he is a great dad. My brother and I never had a second's doubt that he loved us unconditionally. Yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of it. It's a tearjerker. So you may not see Becky Lynch on TV for a while. She may not, I don't know, she may appear at WrestleMania, but I don't see her appearing on television before WrestleMania now with this unfortunate passing of her father. I think she's going to take some time to grieve. That would not shock me at all, and she deserves that. So yeah. All right, when I said loose change, I've got pennies for thoughts, and I got a nickel. And a couple of dimes, too. According to Wrestling Inc., first reported by them and confirmed by multiple sources, Andrade, also known by his real name Manuel Oropeza, asked for his release last Monday at the Raw taping over at El Thunderdome. It is not known as of this report if the request has been accepted. According to F4Dub Online, later that night, when it was reported last Friday, F4Dub Online reported that the WWE denied his request for release. He last appeared on TV on night 2 of the WWE Draft on Raw, where he lost to Angel Garza that night before being attacked by The Fiend. Andrade went undrafted, and he hasn't been on TV since. After debuting with the WWE in 2015, Andrade, known as La Sombra in Mexico, achieved main event status in NXT. He won the NXT title with Zelina Vega as his manager. In 2018, he was called up to SmackDown. He would go on to win the United States title from Rey Mysterio at a house show in Madison Square Garden. He is also engaged to WWE superstar Charlotte Flair. More details on this story will come as they may. Take a sip. Here we go. This story stemmed and began when it was first noticed on Twitter that Andrade changed his screen name, changed his handle on Twitter, erasing all WWE affiliation from his Twitter name. And so suddenly, people were shooting around doctored graphics of the WWE on their Twitter account saying that Andrade has been released. That didn't fly. But then this report flew around that he asked for his release. And yeah, because when anyone takes any of the WWE stuff off of their screen name, they must be asking for their release. I mean, they've got it. And yeah, he hasn't been on TV for, God, I haven't seen him since October. Yeah, he's got to be pissed. He's got to be angry. This has got to be newsworthy. Oh, yeah. I want to look up something real quick. Don't mind me for a second, because it kind of just dawned on me here. This is not the first time that WWE performers have erased the WWE name from their Twitter handles, okay? And I'm not talking, just what you see in bold lettering with their name, but the actual what their Twitter handle is. Well, no, it's not the case. But I guess I will bring it up anyway. A big stink was made when Sasha Banks changed her, handle and just put in her real name, Mercedes Vanando. Made a big stink out of it. Everyone thought she was going to be leaving the WWE. But it still says right there, Sasha Banks at WWE. What about Andrade, though? What about Andrade? Is it even going to pop up now? He just has El Idolo. That's what it says on his, that's what shows up on his entrance music. He still posts here, but absolutely no mention of WWE at all, except for this little thing right here from YouTube. That was done by someone not WWE affiliated. Showing just lots of pictures of with his girl Charlotte. And there he is retweeting some stuff from the WWE. But how much am I buying this story, though, is the thing. I know, don't question Wrestleview's reporting. Well, it is very, very sketchy for me, to say the least. If it's true, Doug, I do have plenty of pennies and plenty of nickels to throw into this. So here we go. The arguments that I kept reading was, oh, what a shame. What an underutilized talent. Oh, he'll be gobbled up in AEW. He can do whatever he wants there. WWE is misusing him, mishandling him. Underutilized. Do you realize that ever since he's appeared and signed with the WWE, that he has always had to have a translator with him? Think about it. He has always had to have, and I'm not just talking when Taya Trinidad or Zelina Vega was there. I'm not talking just that. Who he was in the ring with. He always had to be in the ring with someone who spoke fluent Spanish. Whenever he was in a tag team match, someone in that match had to speak Spanish. I'm being serious. He didn't do much with talent that only spoke English. Think about it. Rey Mysterio, Angel Garza, tag teaming with Angel Garza, and then all of the matches that they had. Alistair Black, fluent in Spanish. When he was in NXT, same thing. Same exact thing. Only contest he had, and again, every contest he had Zelina Vega in his corner to act as translator. That's the problem. You can't use someone if they can't speak English. You can't use someone if they can't communicate properly. You can't use somebody if they don't acclimate to where they are. Shinsuke Nakamura's got broken English, but you know what? He's still on TV. Asuka, her English is horrible. At least she's on TV. Why are they on TV and Andrade isn't? It's because they adapted to the way that they communicate. They adapted to the way that WWE communicates in the ring, outside the ring, via the referees and everyone else involved. Miguel couldn't. He can't. Something is up that he just won't adapt to when it comes to the WWE. Should he be released? No. I just keep him on the contract and ride it out. Ride out the contract. Yeah. I just ride out that contract. I'm not going to release him. If I release him, that shines a big spotlight on him. It shines a big spotlight on us. I'm not going to do that. No. You can't figure the fuck out what you're supposed to do? Well, then you go ahead and just keep on thinking about it. And once you figure it out, come back to us and see if we've got enough time to see if you can show it off. Jamal asking, you'd think if WWE wanted to keep him and other folks who spoke different languages, they'd hire translators to help him. No. No. They don't need to do that. I'm sorry. I'm bringing you in because of the great stuff you did in the ring across seas. Okay? What I think you did across seas would fit great on my television show. Do you want to be a part of this television show? Oh, that's great. But this is what I need you to do outside of the ring. You've got the in-ring stuff down, no problem. I need you to figure out what to do outside of it. And at the same time, that's why they got a performance center. They sign them up, but they're in the performance center for a good amount of time to work their craft, to get with the program. I'd ride out Andrade's contract. Ride it out. The lesser he's on TV, the better it is for everyone involved. That's all. Is it racist? Absolutely not. It's business. I hired you to do this, but I also need you to do this. I'm not going to provide it all for you. You need to do it. You signed on with the WWE, you damn well know you better know how to speak English. I think that's probably one of the big ones. I think that's one of the biggest things. Is that hurdle. And it's not racist at all. Sorry, you need to know how to speak English in the WWE to do your job. Sorry, there is no WWE Telemundo. 205 Live is not filmed in Santa Cruz. Sorry. Is that racist? I don't know. But it's true. At least he's not going to be released because he wanted to make $5 a pop to dress like Sexy Melina from Mortal Kombat. Fucking Zelina Vega. Jesus Christ. Oh, and I got a kick out of this one too. Oh man, we were full of doozies all over the internet when it came to these news sites. According to a new report from F4 Dub Online, WWE is said to have instituted a new policy. According to Jerome, it's so new they had to say it twice. To be, quote, cracking down on wrestlers for slapping their thigh or leg when throwing kicks. The report notes that there is a new sign outside the gorilla position and in the backstage area that reads, "Do not slap leg when kicking." It's being said that Vince McMahon was saw someone do a fairly obvious slap during an episode of Friday Night SmackDown, got upset, resulting in the new edict. Nice job, Murphy. A memo had been sent to NXT talent at one point, but no one said a word about it since it was sent. As of this report, it's unknown how the WWE will enforce this new rule if it is broken by new talent. I think the way that they will enforce it, they will chop off their hand. Yeah. They're going to chop off their hand. Then no longer slap. No slappy for the kicky. No slappy for kicky. Kicky, no slappy. That's what you do. Oh, man. No wonder Johnny Gargano hasn't been on television. You know what? I need to watch that Adam Cole-Finn Balor match again. Super kicks were at an all-time low during that match. No slappy. No slappy on the kicky. Kicky, no slappy. Yeah, good job, Murphy. Nice job there, Murphy, you dumbass. And actually, that's part of production, too. Production's got to know what angles to be at when people are slapping and kicking. These are interesting times, aren't they? Where reports like this come out and they're supposed to be taken seriously. But at the same time, when you think about it, you step back a little bit and you go, holy fuck, they do it a lot. They do slap their leg a lot. Gargano's not going to have a job. Adam Cole won't have a job. WWE hired a new on-air talent for Monday Night Raw. If you saw him last night, he's got a very succulent English voice. Kevin Patrick, real name Kevin Egan, as a backstage correspondent for Monday Night Raw. According to the announcement, Patrick has worked with RTE, Big Ten Network, CNN International, Sirius XM, and more. He has got a nice voice. He's got a good face. I think it's about time we get a male backstage interviewer. You know, it's been a long time coming. Since we're changing over all of our male interviewers to become ring announcers or to put them behind the desk, it's about time that we get a male interviewer, you know? But if there's one thing that I've ever learned in my lifetime, never trust someone with two first names. Never. Never trust someone who has two first names. Daniel Bryan? Oh, God, no. Don't trust him. No. Kevin Owens? No. Kevin Patrick? No. Dan Patrick? No. Dan. Lucas John? That was a kid I used to go with, knew in school. Name him. Luke Bryan? Oh, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. I can't stand people with two first names. I can't stand people with two first names. NXT UK star got a new name because being rebranded. Ben Carter is going to be now known as Nathan Frazier. Once again, don't trust people with two first names. Ben Carter? Nah, what a fuck that guy is. Nathan Frazier? Well, he's okay. Just Frazier? No, fuck him even more. That's right, Brian Farmer. Don't trust a name like Adam Martin either. God. I could watch this new vignette where Ben introduces himself as Nathan. Well, you know, that's okay. All right. It's official. On April the 4th, WWE Network standalone service ends. WWE Network officially launches on March the 18th on Peacock. That is this Thursday. This Thursday, they start broadcasting on Peacock. The deal was worth over $1 billion. It's going to last for 5 years. Announcement also noted that the standalone WWE, yeah, we know when it's going to end. So, yeah. Still no word about subscriptions. If those, I would think that those of us who are subscribed to the WWE Network would automatically be subscribed to Peacock. Tiny Noodle in the chat room going, wee! Little fettuccine. And I would imagine, too, if you're a subscriber to Peacock, then you're automatically subscribed to the WWE Network. Unless this is an extra charge tacked on to you being a subscriber to Peacock. Unless that means that I have to subscribe to Peacock and then be subscribed to the WWE Network. Your $10 a month subscription now might have jacked up to 15 or 20. Is it still worth it? I think it is. I think it is. Watch all of WWE's programming on demand. The other thing, too, is with it being on Peacock now, they will have the rights to all of the NBC Universal programming that the WWE provides. All NXT and Monday Night broadcasts would be on Peacock. Friday Night SmackDown, not so much. Not so much. Fox has the rights to that one, and that's when we have ourselves a cage match. That's when that sounds really fun. Dodger Ryan in the chat room apologizing for no reason. Wee! Dodger telling me they got a deal on Peacock. $2.99 a month for 4 months. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So we've got to tack on an extra $3. If you got a problem with that, then man, you've got a problem with fast food and any other kind of random expense that you may have in the span of 4 months. Boy, I'm not giving them my $10 a month. Well, Jesus Christ, how much do you pay for energy drinks or booze or anything else that's considered entertainment for you? Unsubscribe. It's okay. It's no big deal. I'm just trying to sell you on why it's a good deal. Speaking of absolutely nothing whatsoever, the WWE announced that Molly Holly is the first inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame. Induction class of 2021. Real name, Nora Christina Benshoof. Such a cool name. Now, you see, that's a name I can trust. I can trust that name. That name of Molly Holly? Fuck that girl. No, but Nora Benshoof? I can latch on to that. She sounds like an upright, fine citizen. Molly Holly? That's a terrorist. That's a terrorist if I ever knew one. Never trust people with 2 first names. Never. Never. But Molly Holly is the first inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2021, and that will be streaming on Tuesday, April the 6th, on Peacock. You know what else is going to be happening on that week? That first full week of April? NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver 2 nights. Wednesday night and Thursday night, April the 7th and 8th. Be a 2-night special with night 1 on the USA Network and night 2 live on the Peacock. So we're promoting that some more. Understand the programming that is happening on this week. Okay? Think about this. Monday, April the 5th, you got 3-hour Raw. Tuesday, April the 6th, you've got your Hall of Fame ceremonies on Peacock. April the 7th on a Wednesday, Stand and Deliver, night 1. Thursday, April the 8th, Stand and Deliver, night 2 over on the Peacock. Friday Night SmackDown on April 9th. And then on 10th and the 11th, we go right into the WrestleMania. Mediocre Lewis saying, well, I've got 2 first names. No, I only recognize the one name. That's why it said Mediocre Lewis. So that's all I recognize it for. We got a lot of ice cream to eat, guys. The brain freeze is going to suck. Oh, boy. And finally, always want to end the news on a high note, on a good note. Did you guys watch There was a pay-per-view last Sunday. Revolution. AEW. Where they had their death match, exploding barbed wire death match. How a lot of you said that you wanted me to do a watch along of that. Expect me to throw down at least $40 or $50 to watch that thing? Nah, I wasn't going to do that. And oh my God, am I glad I did. Because holy crap. Man, that finish. Oh boy. I meant to tape AEW from last Wednesday to see what the fallout was going to be from that show, because I'm sure it was going to be something comical, something extraordinarily comical. But instead, what I'm going to leave you with is Jon Moxley addressing the crowd after that.
The shit. On MTV, what the fuck was that? I seen more dangerous shit on ridiculousness on MTV. What the fuck was that? I seen more dangerous shit on ridiculousness on the shit. The shit. The shit. The shit. The shit.
Okay. Didn't really show it on there, but yeah, he basically went on there and said, yeah, Kenny Omega may be a great guy in the ring, but he can't make an exploding ring for shit. Crash in the chat room going, wee! Here was. No, I'm not going to do it. I'll get dinged. Can't do it. Don't want to do it. I'm going to get dinged. Shotzi Blackheart had some fun with it on her Twitter feed. It was bad. It was horrible. It was horrible. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I didn't buy this. I'm so glad I didn't watch it. I was hoping Atsushi Onita would run out there during last Wednesday's show and just beat the crap out of everyone involved. To have him associated with something like that. Oh, boy. Man, that stunk. It was bad. Oh, boy. News on the injury front of sorts. WWE referee Tom Castor revealed that he had a torn bicep and he's going to need surgery. He did that while officiating the Io Shirai Tony Every Day is Leg Day Storm. So, yeah. So your money on him going to WrestleMania has been pulled out. And finally, AEW star Anna Jay underwent shoulder surgery last Thursday. Here she is under what seems to be a puffy, all that stuff they use for packing and shipping over there at Amazon. There she is for the next 2 days. I'll most likely be sleeping and eating only ice cream and soup. Yeah. Oh, well. No, she'll be fine. Shoulder surgery, she should be back in time for whatever the hell else their pay-per-views are. I don't know. Mediocre Lou is telling me that was the only bad thing about the pay-per-view. I saw the tag team match involving Maki Ito and Britt Baker versus Riho and Thunder Rosa. Oh, God. Ugh. Oh, man, was that rough to watch. That was really rough to watch. I'm sorry. But I do want to check out the Adam Page Dark Order fun stuff. That's probably the only thing I'd look forward to. If Cody performed on that pay-per-view, I don't want to know a damn thing about it. Fuck Cody, okay? Don't care. entrance is way too goddamn long, longer than anyone else's on there. He serves no purpose on that show whatsoever. I would not have Cody on that show at all. When's the last time the WWE had a good pre-show match? A good pre-show match. Anything involving Cesaro. I think it'd be a good one. I'd have to look back on past pre-show matches because, yeah, that right there tells you I can't think of one if one doesn't really come to my mind. I know Cesaro's been on plenty of them. So, yeah. Let's take a look at that IR list. Who's on the injured reserve? Becky Lynch had the tiny human extracted from her tum-tum, but unfortunately her father passed away. She should be returning to television soon. I expect her to show up at WrestleMania. Ivar, clavicle injury, potential neck stinger. If his career is not over, he will not be back in time. He will be back around SummerSlam times. Lacey Evans has a tiny human in her tum-tum. She's not going to be back until Royal Rumble times. Chelsea Green, broken wrist. She should be coming back soon for NXT sometime here before WrestleMania. This was the same injury that floored her in 2019 from the same spot, falling off of the apron onto the floor and using her left wrist to break her fall. Tegan Knox tore her ACL for the third time. If she is not done with professional wrestling, she won't be back until SummerSlam times. Ridge Holland ruptured his patella on live television. You won't see him until SummerSlam. Arturo Ruas, torn rotator cuff. He's perfectly healthy. Why isn't he on television? Why do I even care? I don't know. Bobby Fish with a torn tricep. Since he's been called up to the WWE about 4 or 5 years ago, I believe, he has been injured 2 years. The fuck knows what's happening with him. I don't think he'd even have an opinion on what's going on with Adam Cole right now. And finally, Casey Catanzaro with a torn LCL. She was on TV last week. She can be on TV on crutches and all of that good stuff, but she's not going to be in the ring until October of this year. So those are the people that are hurt. What about the people who aren't hurt? What about the people who are perfectly healthy? What about the people who haven't been on WWE television or pay-per-view for, say, 3 weeks? They end up on a very special list. A list of my own design. A list that grows larger, stronger, bolder, and spicier with every day that passes. You keep on asking yourself, why haven't they asked for their release from the WWE? They speak perfectly good English. Hey, your guess is as good as mine. Brace yourself for impact. Turn your head if you're squeamish. It's the WWE milk carton. Oh, I speak English very well. I'm a Alito and then some 2% motherfucker. Alito. How's that? I think that might have been one of my better songs from Milky in a very long time. Coming up first, to start off the milk carton, it's our girl. It's our girl. God, I can't believe she's on this list.
You're going to be joking me.
I know. You shouldn't be on here at all. You are on TV and just doing wacky shit with Bray Wyatt and Liv Morgan and everything involving Natalia and Tamina and, you know,
I just studied that question. Hey, you go to journalism for that?
Yeah, I went to journalism for. I just took names. I just wrote down shit. But yeah, Billie Kay. We haven't seen her since the February 19th episode of SmackDown, where she was right there, ringside. Where are you, Billie? Where are you, Billie? Billie, where are you, Billie? There you are. Yeah, you were ringside when it was the Wyatt squad versus Natalia and Tamina. So yeah, that's where she was.
Hey, Kayla!
No. Kayla's not on Twitter, though. No. So that's the only way that you can really get her attention since she's not on Twitter anymore.
Hey, Kayla!
I love Billie Kay. She's an absolute fucking treasure. I will not have anyone tell me otherwise. Kushida. Have not seen him since the February 17th episode of NXT where he faced off against Tyler Rust, some guy who's not even on the main roster. He's now going to be taking his regular 1 month break, and then he'll come back to NXT television. I don't know. Maybe to do something. He might be nearing his end with his contract. To tell you the truth, might be nearing the end of his contract, but we'll see. The aforementioned Peyton Royce, who made her desperate a plea for acknowledgement on Raw Talk last Monday. We have not seen her since the February 15th episode of Monday Night Raw, where she was in an absolute stinker of a tag team match paired up with Lacey Evans versus Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Yeah. That's what you get. Mercedes Martinez, haven't seen her since the February 14th NXT Vengeance pay-per-view, where she was part of the triple threat match between Tony Everyday is Leg Day Storm and NXT champion Io Shirai. Since that match, Tony Everyday is Leg Day Storm had a rematch against Io Shirai, but Mercedes Martinez has yet to be found. She speaks perfectly good English, yet she is at the ripe young age of 39. Keith Lee. Now, this ain't because of quarantine. This ain't because your wife's got the spiky Nerf ball. And this ain't because about a month and a half back, Vince was angry that his big men weren't working well, so they had to work extra hard at the Performance Center. No, you're just not on TV because you're just not doing anything. You haven't been on TV since February the 8th episode of Monday Night Raw, where you faced off against Riddle. Make your excuses all you want for him. Make them all you want. Okay? I don't know. There's got to be something going on that we don't see. It's got to be something on television that we don't see, that they see that we don't, to show that he has not been on television. It's got to be something. I don't know. Nikki Cross, haven't seen her since the February 1st episode of Monday Night Raw, where she faced off against Alexa Bliss to further confirm the wacky-ass anything is possible in a jump cut Alexa Bliss character. Good job. Rhea Ripley, haven't seen her since the Royal Rumble back on January the 31st. She has been constantly touted every week for the past 3 weeks that get ready, coming soon, Rhea Ripley to the Monday Night Raw. She's not showing up until after Fastlane. Induced Share, haven't seen them since the January 26th Superstar Spectacle, where the WWE Network sold their investments to India Television, Sony India Networks, for their WWE India project and potential NXT India project. We haven't seen them on United States television, though, because of the color green. But Jinder Mahal was there. We haven't seen him since then. He speaks English. His right knee is perfectly healthy now after rupturing his patella and undergoing cleanup surgery for a year and a quarter. I miss this guy. But yeah, I've got a feeling you're not going to be seeing him anytime soon. He's going to be shepherding that India project. This always makes me sad. Every time I see it. It always makes me sad when I see Tucker show up on the WWE milk carton. We have not seen him since the January 25th episode of Monday Night Raw, where he took part in some kind of VIP lounge segment chasing after the 24/7 title. We had great stuff booked for this guy. And Jamel brings up, he speaks English. Why isn't he asking for his release? I don't know. Wesley Blake. Haven't seen him since the January 1st episode of SmackDown, where he and James Cutler, formerly of the Forgotten Sons, were now known as the Knights of the Lone Wolf, standing alongside King Corbin. Since that time, James Cutler has been released from the WWE because he went against protocol and decided to go to a New Year's Eve party and then contracted spiky Nerf ball because of it. Jackson Riker, another forgotten son, is over on Raw, not doing a goddamn thing and standing next to Elias all the time when he's able to. Wesley Blake, they're writing out his contract, or he's trying to slim down to get on the Little Critter Show. Kalisto, haven't seen him since that same episode of SmackDown on January the 1st, where he was just standing against the wall. Sonya Deville walking backstage, and there he is, standing against the wall, nodding up and down. About a couple of weeks ago, he gave himself a little dark promo on Twitter to try to curry some favor, desperate pleas for acknowledgement. Prepare yourself. Either if he's not going to 205 Live, he is going to the chopping block, and he's gone. There is something that we're seeing about him that we don't know. There's got to be something going on. Eric of the Viking Raiders of War Machine, or what I'd rather them be called Dreadnought. Eric hasn't been seen on Monday Night Raw since December the 28th, where he was going after the 24/7 title. Wherever Ivar's going, that's where Eric's going, and if Ivar's going nowhere, Eric is soon to follow. Ooh, this makes everybody happy. Velveteen Dream. Haven't seen him since the December 23rd episode of NXT from last year, where he was legitimately buried. Gil's telling me Kalisto was backstage on February. Well, probably backstage with everyone. Backstage in February. What I'm thinking. Velveteen Dream. Legitimately buried by Adam Cole last December. I thought he was going to show up for the Royal Rumble, and he did not. It looks like he's taking a lot of time off. They are not going to release him. They love this guy. He's young. He's got everything, okay? So, yeah, they ain't getting rid of Velveteen Dream. No way. No way. And there's no other there's no federation that would take him in. Unless you're Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor would absolutely take Velveteen Dream in. Oh, they're taking Marty Scurll back. The Fiend Bray Wyatt. We haven't seen him since the December 20th TLC pay-per-view where he faced off against Randy Orton because he was set on fire. Can we please stick with that storyline that he's dead? Jimmy Uso. Haven't seen him since the November 22nd Survivor Series, where he was outside of the locker room waiting for Jey Uso and Roman Reigns and say, "Oh, what happened, brother?" Expect him to show up very, very soon on SmackDown. Very, 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 very soon. Alistair Black. Haven't seen him since the October 12th episode of Monday Night Raw. This was the infamous night 2 of the draft that he had a match against Kevin Owens. After this, he would be drafted to SmackDown. We have not seen him since then. He speaks perfectly good English. He hasn't changed his Twitter handle. And more to the point, his wife was released back in December because she didn't follow WWE protocol and decided to make an OnlyFans page so that she could make $5 a pop dressing like sexy Melina for Mortal Kombat. It will not shock me if he's released before Andrade is. And speaking of the devil, there's Andrade. Haven't seen him since October the 12th of last year. Marina Shafir, haven't seen her since the September 23rd episode of NXT, where she took part in a battle royale of the Vagina Persuasion to determine the number 1 contender for the NXT Women's title. Candice LeRae would win that match. Marina Shafir, since then, has been doing nothing but posting Instagram and Twitter stuff and being a mom on the WWE's dime. Riddick Moss, haven't seen him since the September 21st Monday Night Raw, where he was underground and pretending to be a cage fighter fighting Arturo Ruas. Since then, Arturo Ruas went on to have one match on NXT before he tore his rotator cuff, but down there underground was Dabba-Kato as well, and he thought he was a cage fighter, and he stepped up to Braun Strowman, who thought that he was a cage fighter, and so all that shit happened. Underground doesn't exist anymore. There's no longer an underground. Everything is above ground level. Riddick Moss and Dabba-Kato were drafted to Monday Night Raw. We haven't seen them since then. I don't know what's happening, but I've got a feeling Shane McMahon is going to reveal it all to us when he has his match with Braun Strowman at WrestleMania, and it's going to be underground. Jessamine Duke, haven't seen her since that Monday Night Raw, September 7th, underground. Thought she was a cage fighter. What's she been doing since then? She's been playing video games on the WWE's dime. And finally, the stalwart of the WWE milk carton. We haven't seen him since the June 19th episode of SmackDown, where he had a match against a guy named Shorty G, who would later change his name to Chad Gable, because everything that was trying to get worked with involving that character Shorty G was just not working. The Chad Gable character has been repackaged 3 times in the span of 2.5 years. And everyone has been involved in trying to get that fucking guy over. Apollo Cruz, Sheamus, to name a few. And now Mojo Rawley was on that list to try to get Shorty G over. Nope. It was so bad we had to change his name back. I guess it's working now. But what are we doing with Mojo? It doesn't matter what we're doing with Mojo. We can't get rid of Mojo. His connections with the NFL. Is it really a connection with the NFL? Or is it really just a connection with Gronkowski that we had last year at WrestleMania? Would have been better if we had a live crowd for it, but no, I'm not hype. I did like it, though, when he was busting out with Michael Cole and Triple H on there. Get hype, Cole! Get hype! Get hype! I like that. But those were happier times. Those were the before times. Those were happy times. Yeah. So there's your WWE milk carton. He's not due up to be a golden gallon for another 3 months, so we've got all the time in the world to wait until then. Who all is coming up here on the milk carton in the next week if they don't show up on television? Any big names there? Well, one of them I did not have on the injury list, and that's Asuka. Asuka may have a concussion, but we are yet to get confirmation on that. Any other big names on that list? Not really. Not really. Not really any big names. You won't be shocked when you hear them, to tell you the truth. So there you go. There's the WWE milk carton. Have me some more of this 5.6 that I've been taking down really hard. All right. Let's talk the left lane. Let's talk the POV lane. Let's do 85 and a 40. Let's go ahead and do 85 and a 40. Let's turn on, I don't know what kind of music you would want to ever do that, but let's just do it. I got to predict some shit. Let's do the buttons work on this thing? I hope they do. Let's talk some Fastlane. All right. WWE Fastlane. Right now, there are only 3 matches booked for Fastlane. WWE seems to do this all the time with their B pay-per-views. They will only announce 2 or 3 matches, but then when the show comes up, it explodes and doubles in volume. So I am going to make some predictions right now on other matches that we're going to see. Okay? All right. Well, maybe not right now. It's just I want to get some of these predictions over with first. All right. How do these predictions go? Well, it's simple. All other professional wrestling podcasts make predictions on pay-per-views, and our podcast is no different. I make predictions, and if I'm really confident in my prediction, I will lock that prediction. What does it mean when I lock a prediction? Well, if that locked prediction that I made is failed to be realized, we do a shot of the Luna Azul Blanco tequila. This guy was full last year. So yeah, we've been taking it down pretty heartily. This is all I use for it, though. I don't make margaritas out of this or anything. This is solely for my horrible decision-making and lack of judgment in being a professional wrestling fan. So, 3 matches right now on Fastlane's card. All 3 of them are locks. I have to. All 3 of them are locks. Gil's going, it's almost like they don't know what they're doing. Almost. Yeah, I know. It's like we're told that every time. Like they're scrapping the entire WrestleMania card as if they had one. They've already had one made. Why do I have to book everything? Why am I the one that's got to book everything? And it's not like I'm fantasy booking stuff that's, far-fetched. I'm building programs here, but be as it may, we've got to predict what they have in store for us. So let's start things off with the new Prince of Nigeria, Apollo Cruz, after he found himself in a nice little hype promo with Paul Heyman on Talking Smack a few weeks back. Apollo Cruz, the Prince of Nigeria, versus Biggie, the Prince of Sexual Innuendo? Probably. Not sure. Yeah, that's what it'll be. Biggie versus Apollo Cruz. Oh, I'm imagining a DQ finish on this one. There's going to be a DQ finish. This one is not. If it's going to finish clean, it'll be Big E. Big E will win. Later, mediocre Lewis. Whee! No, I don't see him getting the title. Do we want the Prince to have the title going into WrestleMania and Big E win it back in a stipulation match? That doesn't sound too bad. That actually sounds very inviting. I like that. I kind of like that. I've got a feeling Apollo's going to win. Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like doing this. I don't like doing this. I hate it. Sure. Apollo Cruz, lock it. No, I'll lock Apollo Cruz. Apollo Cruz, lock him. Because the thought of Big E winning it back at WrestleMania sounds really good. It really, really does. Oh, God. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defending the WWE Women's Tag Team titles against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Because, you know what? It was such a great match last month at Elimination Chamber. I have got to have it again. And I am not further confirmed that there's a rift between Belair and Bianca. Belair and Banks. Dear God. Make it end. Make it stop. Make the hurting stop. Make the hurting stop. Baszler and Jax retain. Banks and Belair go at it to lead into WrestleMania. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan, and there's going to be a special enforcer, not a special guest referee, just a guy at ringside that when the ref takes the bump, he becomes the referee. It's going to be Edge or Jey Uso. Edge or Jey Uso, because those two guys are going to go at it on an episode of SmackDown tonight. I mean, no, not tonight, Friday. And whoever wins that becomes the guy on the outside wearing a referee shirt in case the ref takes a bump. Edge is going to win that. Edge is going to be the enforcero on the outside. He will be referee number 2. When the ref takes a bump, Edge gets in the ring. He's the one that's going to count. Wow, that's tough. Daniel Bryan is going to get screwed. Roman Reigns will retain the Universal title. He will retain without question. Yes. That will happen. Yes. So there you go. Edge he may do a fast count. He could do a fast count. He'll just throw the belt at Roman and spear Daniel Bryan. Then that leads into, yes, exactly, Jamel. Then we're led into a triple threat with Daniel Bryan shoehorned into it. Coming up soon also, we're also going to have I got a feeling we're going to have a match of the tag team variety. Well, not of the tag, well, maybe of the tag team variety. Something involving Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, and Kevin Owens. Something involving them 3. Not sure. I know Seth Rollins Cesaro is going to be saved for WrestleMania. Why? I don't know. I don't know why that's being saved for WrestleMania. We may have a SmackDown tag team title match. I don't know. The Mysterios versus Rude and Ziggler. I never even knew Rude and Ziggler were the tag team champions for a long time. I didn't even know there was tag team wrestling on SmackDown. Well, there were champions on there for that. Monday Night Raw. Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. And by God, they've had a no DQ match. They have had all kinds of matches. I don't know if they're going to have a match this Monday. They probably are not, because they need to not touch each other for a match they're going to have at Fastlane, where the winner gets Bobo at WrestleMania. I see that happening. Keith Lee ain't showing up. That's for damn sure. Riddle is the United States champion. Who is Riddle facing? Who is Riddle facing? The Miz. John Morrison, maybe. Well, he already faced John Morrison. He'll face the Miz. Yeah, the Miz versus Riddle. That's what that'll be. Raw Tag Team Champs Hurt Business. Who could they be facing? I don't know. Lucha House Party again? Any other tag team? No, there isn't any other tag team. No one cares. No one cares about the tag team wrestling going on in Raw and SmackDown right now. None. Raw Women's Champ Asuka may have a concussion, so she may not be performing. Cesaro versus Murphy added. God, Jamel, that would stink. That would make it 3 weeks in a row. Third one on a pay-per-view? Ugh. Could see a tag team match, though. Cesaro and Nakamura versus Rollins and Murphy. Sure, I could see that. Oh, yeah, what are we doing with Retribution? Oh, for fuck's sake. Why would I do anything with Retribution? Why would I do anything with Retribution? Mustafa Ali versus Riddle. There we go. That sounds good. Actually, we'll do Riddle versus T-Bar. We'll do something like that. We'll do something like that. Yeah, that's what. But 3 matches slated on the card for HOV lane. The left lane. Coming up next Sunday. I'm sure the card will be filled up by the beginning of... I want this show to be done. I really do. So those are my picks. Those are my picks for the three matches. 3 shots of tequila are on the line on this one. Biggie will lose the Intercontinental title to the Prince of Nigeria, Apollo Cruz. That will lead into some really fantastic WrestleMania shenanigans. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax will retain the women's tag team titles against Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks because Belair and Banks will finally have a rift between the two. And what the fuck is on Sasha's face? Has she ever had that shit on during any episode of SmackDown? What is that? She needs to get those things checked out on her cheeks. Those look infected. And finally, Roman Reigns will successfully defend his Universal title against Daniel Bryan, where Edge will become referee number 2 when the ref takes a bump. Potential fast count, Edge spears Daniel Bryan, and there we go. Eric in the chat room suggesting that I acknowledge him when he has not successfully introduced himself to me. Doug, how about this? Riddle face all but Keith Lee, destroy all of them, he mad in the back at MVP. Nope. Too far-fetched, can't cram it into 3 weeks, bud. Nope. Not enough time. Nope. I don't even know if we're going to see Keith Lee back on Monday Night Raw. Right now, I don't know. It's very, very sketchy right now. So, we'll see. We'll see. But right now, I've got Matt Riddle going against someone in Retribution. Someone in Retribution. You know, I'm not a big fan of Guinness. I don't know. I've got 4 more bottles of it. If you guys send me postage, I'll probably send you a bottle or something. That's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly. Kind of let down that I've only got 3 matches to select from Fastlane. But I got to tell you one thing. I'm freaking spent from how angry I got on the headlines. I speak English. I'm not asking for my release from Wrestleview. I think they still kind of like me here. I think they still like it that I get angry. But it's a reasonable angry. It's a reasonable angry. I'm not far-fetched. You know? Was you telling me Riddle versus Ali? That's what's WrestleMania, dude. Riddle, Ali is WrestleMania. Riddle versus Flapjack, I can definitely see. All right, look. Tune in tomorrow night. Immediately following Raw, the effervescent one, Mike Tedesco and Queen Victoria are going to be right here discussing everything that happened on the Go Home show Monday Night Raw. And then after SmackDown on Friday, Roy is going to be here to talk about the Go Home show SmackDown and everything leading up to Sunday's Fast Lane, Left Lane pay-per-view. And then catch me and Mike Tedesco, the effervescent one, here after the Fast Lane pay-per-view, which I pray is going to be over before 10 o'clock. I love pay-per-views that last less than 3 hours. They're just a treasure. But tune in then, and Mike and I will be here talking about it, trying to talk each other off the cliff, and also probably say that we were pleasantly surprised. We've been pleasantly surprised by all of their pay-per-views so far. But that's what's going on. Until then, if you haven't subscribed to the Wrestleview YouTube channel, what the heck's your problem? Why haven't you done it? I mean, I'm not judging you for the times that you haven't, but it's gotten to the point now to where if you haven't, I am judging you. Just subscribe to the channel. Those are the only shows that we really do is on Mondays, Fridays, and Sundays. Like the video. It's stupid. I'm not going to be obnoxious like a lot of the people you see on Twitch and YouTube going, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I've got a lot of wacky emojis that you can use just in my chat room, and you can show them off everywhere else. And then everyone else will look at you like, what the fuck is that? No, I don't do that stuff. I'm just a simple guy that likes the sauce and likes to talk about men in stretchy pants holding each other to resolve melodramatic theatrical conflict through violence, and also to satiate my homoerotic subconscious. that is professional wrestling in a nutshell. Thank you guys so much for showing up and tuning in however the hell you're doing it. Wear a mask. Don't be an asshole. Think of others before yourselves. And as always, and now more than ever, know when you're being sold to.